Okay, so this is a commercial by Procter and Gamble. Not necessarily a huge household name for most, although their stuff is in pretty much every household in America. You might even be wondering who they are. So they make plenty of household goods like toothpaste and deodorant and Pampers and detergent and whatnot. So that's our speaker. Their audience? Well, we can say anyone who's watching the big game, we can say they have a very wide target because their products are so wide. Not just beer drinkers, not just potential BMW buyers, but a much wider kind of audience, which makes sense considering what they're selling. Everyone uses, or everyone should use, toothpaste and deodorant and toilet paper and whatnot. So if that's your audience and you are Procter & Gamble, what kind of a message do you craft? What does your argument have to look like? It's a really interesting kind of rhetorical riddle.
Hi, Aaron. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
My hair.
So they begin with the question, what does it mean to do something like a girl? And we can guess at the rest of this already, that their message is going to be supportive of girls and women in our society. And it's 2015, so that's a pretty safe message to be sending. They probably will not be ruffling very many feathers in sending this kind of a message, because it isn't terribly controversial at this point. They're not talking about gay marriage, they're not talking about abortion, they're not talking about presidential candidates or politics or anything like that. They're talking about something, doing something like a girl. It's a battle that has been largely fought already, and while it's still worth fighting, it is pretty safe ground for Procter & Gamble. So speaker, check. Audience, check. Message, probably something to do with women's rights. And purpose, we can go ahead and say something like to remind American audiences of who Procter & Gamble is, what they stand for, to let them know that they're still good guys. Now, of course, this all depends on the delivery of their message. We haven't really gotten very far into this commercial at all yet, and we're making assumptions. And maybe that just speaks to our understanding of rhetoric and what Procter & Gamble can even possibly do at this point. Let's see. Let's see where they go with it.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
All of these folks are being asked to do things like a girl. So, we can see some ethos in the fact that their genders are mixed, which is important because if these were all men being asked to do things like a girl, it would be an entirely different kind of commercial. And the same is true if it was all women or all girls. And we can see that they're trying to draw ethos in how they are displaying the actual shots, the video production. They show us a video camera, and that's no mistake. They didn't accidentally zoom out. There doesn't happen to be a camera up ahead there. It's simple, but it suggests a great deal about what we're watching. It suggests that we are behind the camera, that we're in the room for this taping. It suggests that these people are maybe not actors, that this is a real reflection of society at large. It's ethos in the bank. And as far as pathos, we can hear the music, but we can also relate to the questions here. Half the people watching this are female. The other half the people watching this commercial probably have warm feelings toward at least one female in their lives. So there you have it. Okay, let's continue.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
So a little bit of logos here for good measure. He's asked a question and reflects logically on how this concept can be considered an insult to women at large. The boy's answer is reasonably crafted, but forces us to think with more than just our hearts. And the fact that he's a young boy, that also impacts his credibility, of course, because he has less reason to lie or to fabricate something. He isn't a college professor. He isn't someone who has majored in women's studies. He's just a little guy.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Okay, question. Why is it important that Dakota tells us her name and her age? So probably because it establishes a stronger personal connection with Dakota than it would have otherwise, right? We have a stronger connection with her than with those other folks pretending to do things like a girl. Again, it makes her seem like an ordinary person rather than some kind of an actor. And on top of that, a person that we can trust because she's 10 and because she's a little girl, and really the focal point of this entire controversy that this commercial is exploring. It's her, and we don't know who she is. She's not a celebrity. She's just an ordinary person.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl.
So these little girls do all kinds of things as they're asked, and they shatter the stereotype, right? The argument is pretty clear here. But then we're smacked in the face with this. It's a cold splash of logos. A girl's confidence plummets during puberty. Questions that you should be asking yourself. Why do you believe this statement? If your answer is because it's true, well, that's nice, but there's a reason that it's true, or rather a reason that you believe it's true. There's an entire context. A lot of it is coming from this video. A lot of it is coming from your experience in the world with society that drums up the credibility of this frame. But it doesn't have to is an indirect call to action. They're asking you to do something here without actually asking you to do something. There's a suggestion that something can be done to stop this stereotype. I'm not sure if we can erase it completely from popular culture, and I'm not sure how rampant and destructive this particular line truly is in comparison to some of the other awful facets of popular media, but again, a safe bet by Procter & Gamble to shine a positive light on their company. Let's see if they can tie the commercial up with something nice. That's paramount with arguments like this, with this kind of a commercial especially, the equivalent of an attorney's big closing statement or ending a speech with a bang.
What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
Okay, there it is. So there's ethos in her youth, in the way she stammers over the words. It's so innocent and it's pure, and we believe it. It's not scripted. Or maybe it is, but it doesn't seem like it is. And that's part of that stammering, in the way that she doesn't say it in a way that sounds like she's reciting it. It doesn't come out perfect. She hasn't been tainted by the negative ideas that our society projects on women yet. And the fact that we're saying yet, that's part of their argument, right? It doesn't have to be that way, but it probably will be unless we do something about it. That's the argument. That's the call to action. The pathos is in the music, and it's in the context. We don't want this poor little girl to suffer, do we? No, of course we don't. And of course, logos in the prior frame, the pseudo statistic that we saw there about girls losing confidence as they reach puberty, that we believe. Okay. And here we have a new light shed on their purpose. Procter & Gamble seems to be promoting a new hashtag, one that can feasibly spread like wildfire through social media. So the question is, are they really interested in women's rights? Maybe they are. Are they really interested in drumming up interest and positivity for their own company and their own product line? Maybe they are. Can it be both?